Hey guys, I'm here with my next review, and I'm going to keep this as short, sweet, and to the point as possible. So we pretty much started out, if you guys see me looking this way, I'm looking at my computer. I have it all typed up. Emily and her mom are moving into Allison's house, her old house, the house that her mom now lives in all by herself. And Hannah's pretty much encouraging that so that Emily can look around and find clues if possible. Caleb, he has found an address. Let me do this. Okay. He's found an address in Philly that could be connected to Cece and her whereabouts. And Aria is actually going to be in Philly also because Jake has a tournament that he is a part of, and she's going to go and support him, but she's also going to go and find out what she can about Cece. Mona, she of course is in Radley, and she's talking to Ren. And Ren says that he basically doesn't believe that she killed anyone. And then he goes and mentions how he can just tell that she's no longer on her medications and all that jazz. Lo and behold, we find out that Ezra is not the father of Malcolm. Surprise, surprise. Honestly, I did not see that coming. I didn't. But it makes a lot of sense to me in a way. So, yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. You find out that Allison's parents are getting a divorce. Caleb wants Hannah to tell the police about A, and we know that that's not going to happen. Hannah is very dead set against doing that because she feels like if they do that, things are just going to get a lot worse. Caleb is pretty much like, how is it going to get any worse than that, you know? And he tries to go to Miss Hastings and in order to tell her about A, but Hannah pretty much intercepts him in a way before he even goes into the building. And then they talk, and he says pretty much, I just don't want to see you get hurt anymore, pretty much. And next thing you know, they pretty much, I need to stop saying that. Next thing you know, they're making out on the sidewalk. Let me see. Ren, he goes to Miss Hastings in order to talk to her about Mona. And he tells Miss Hastings that Mona is a dangerous person who wants to see the girls hurt. He doesn't believe that she is saying that she killed Wilden in order to help them. Allison's mom ends up telling Emily a story. She and Emily are kind of having a heart-to-heart, and Emily mentions to Allison's mom after her mom mentions seeing Allison, thinking she saw Allison, and that it was very, very odd when she kind of ran up on her and realized that it wasn't her. And Emily says, well, you know, I feel like I've seen Allison around too. And her mom said, yeah, we pretty much all have, you know. When Aria is in Philly, she runs into a woman that is moving out of the apartment where Cece lives, or the building where Cece lived. And according to her, Allison got Cece kicked out of the place that she was staying at. And the girl mentions to Aria about the frat party that happened 3 years ago. And Aria's like, well, that's in the past. What does that have to do with anything? And Cece, according to the girl that Aria's talking to, hated the 4 girls. So hated Allison's friends since they were involved with her. And Aria's like, okay, and your points? What is all this? What does all this really mean? And I'm also going to mention this. After Aria finishes talking to her, she goes to go see Jake's tournament, and then she gets a call from Ezra, but she ignores the call. Big surprise there, not really. Redcoat, Cece, whoever is in Allison's old house. Of course, we saw in the very last episode that this whoever Redcoat is pretty much has been able to get into Allison's house. And I'm going to get back to that in a quick second. But anyway, my point is, the reason I'm mentioning that is because Hannah goes over to the house. There's no one there except for Redcoat. And I keep thinking to myself, this scene kind of annoyed me a little bit because I'm thinking to myself, Hannah, you're hearing weird noises in a house that is the house your friend just used to live in, and now she's dead and all this crazy stuff is going on, and you keep hearing a noise but you kind of keep brushing it off. That bothered me just a little bit because she knows that A is out there and trying to do crazy things to, I'm just saying. But anyway, we do see Redcoat kind of come in, mask, Allison's face, obviously, what the mask looked like. And Hannah, of course, turns around like, huh? Was there somebody there? What? And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh. Redcoat should have just cracked her upside the head. I'm joking. I'm joking. Spencer and Toby go to visit Dr. Palmer. And of course, we all know that Dr. Palmer's kind of losing it. They try to talk to him about like the sheet music that A left for Toby, but he's kind of not all completely there until Spencer starts playing on the piano that's in the room. And he's kind of taken back to a time period or a time when Toby's mom was still alive. And basically he's like asking Spencer questions like, so is Toby going to come over? And she's like, no, I don't think so. And, you know, they're just talking and stuff. And when Dr. Palmer says, oh, you know, our time is up, because I guess like a nurse or an assistant comes in to take him out of the room, Spencer starts questioning him about the blonde girl, saying, what was her name? Was her name Cece Drake? But in a way he doesn't hear her. And he says, and I got this quote, can you please show Miss De Laurentiis to my office? And everyone's like, Miss De Laurentiis, wait, it couldn't be Allison. So is it Allison's mom? And you find out later on that it is. But now we're going to go back to Miss Hastings. She goes to visit Mona. I was like, you go, girl. And she basically, in a way, threatens Mona. And she says, listen, boo-boo, okay? Do not mess with my family, or I will put you in jail for so long that your hair will basically turn gray by the time they even consider letting you out. I was like, Miss Hastings, you better do it, girl. Even though that kind of backfired on her. So Alice's mom, like I said, she was at Radley. There was a flashback. This is what happened. Cece dressed up as Allie and went to Radley saying that she wants to stay there. And the doctor that Allie's mom talked to, who I'm guessing is Dr. Palmer, basically said that their friendship, Cece and Allison's friendship, is a toxic friendship. And Allie's mom says that she does not want Cece to come around the house anymore. Cece has a whole bunch of mess going on with her, y'all. It's just a mess, a complete mess. So Spencer's mom, I'm going to go back to her now. You find out that she's been accused of obstruction of justice because apparently an anonymous person went to the police with allegations that Spencer's mom bullied Mona into giving that confession, that fake confession. And because all of this has happened, now Hannah's mom doesn't have a lawyer. And now Hannah's upset. All this stuff is going on. And it's just ridiculous. Just craziness. And that's all I want to talk about. I mean, seriously, guys. How I feel about this episode in general, it was okay. It was okay. It was just okay for me. I wasn't thrilled by it, which is probably why I'm really kind of like, throughout this entire review, I'm just going to be honest, I just wasn't really feeling this episode at all, which is very rare for me. I wasn't feeling it, you guys. I really wasn't. The only thing of real interest for me was the whole Malcolm not being Ezra's son. Okay? I mean, it's cute and all, and it's very sweet that Ezra cares about Malcolm, but I mean, now he's just all types of pissed. He's calling Arya, and Arya's pretty much moved on. I mean, she and Jake, they make out all over again in this episode and everything. This review, I just feel, was very bland for me, but it is what it is, and I'll talk to you guys later, so see ya.